Good afternoon and welcome to the Center for Research Libraries webinar on collections and services. My name is James Simon. I'm the Director of International Resources at CRL, and I'd like to thank you for attending today. We have a number of existing members, some new faces in the audience, as well as some prospective members. We intend for this to be a broad and general overview of CRL's collections and services, hopefully to provide a refresher for all of the activities that CRL is undertaking. Perhaps you'll learn some new things about CRL as well. As I said, my name is James Simon, and here's a list of the presenters that will be presenting today. Kevin Wilkes, our Head of Access Services, Virginia Kerr, our Digital Program Manager, and Gwen Einat, our Communications Specialist. Just to provide a brief overview, for those who are not as familiar with CRL, the Center for Research Libraries is a consortium of university, college, and independent research libraries of all sizes. We include academic libraries at major research universities like Harvard and Yale University, as well as four-year colleges such as Skidmore and Oberlin College. CRL also includes independent, non-academic institutions such as the New York Public Library and the Newberry Library here in Chicago. Most of CRL's members are located within the United States and Canada. We also have a global membership category, including the University of Hong Kong. All told, there are more than 200 academic and independent research libraries as voting members of the center. CRL's mission, broadly speaking, is to support advanced research and teaching in all disciplines. Though the strongest fields in our collection relate to the humanities and social sciences, we also have a significant science collection. To support our mission, we preserve critical historical and cultural evidence that neither individual libraries nor commercial publishers alone can preserve, and make those materials available to researchers. In order to accomplish our mission, we collect materials in physical and electronic format. We have a shared collection here in Chicago of over 5 million books, journals, archives, documents, and newspapers, the size of a major university library. And to support our mission, we also support various communities of interest that identify and acquire material selected of interest to the CRL membership, such as our cooperative Africana Materials Project and other groups related to Latin America, the Middle East, and so on. Here's a brief agenda of what we'll be covering during the course of this presentation. I will be providing an overview of CRL's collection and our collection partnerships. I will provide pointers on how you can discover more information about CRL resources and point you to some of the relevant sections of our website. Kevin Wilkes will talk more about how to acquire or how to gain access to the material from CRL, and we'll talk about some of the digital services that we provide. We will also provide an overview of our electronic resource licensing program and other CRL member programs such as the purchase proposal programs, and our outreach services to help maximize your membership in CRL. Finally, we'll leave a little bit of time for some questions and answers and clarifications from the members in attendance today. Just to begin, I wanted to present a couple pictures of CRL's location here in Chicago. We're on the south side of the city, just south of the Midway on University of Chicago's campus, and we have a facility that stores all of CRL's physical collection. Here's some snapshots of the stacks upstairs, which are all climate controlled and temperature controlled. And you can see the range of shelving that we have for all of the physical materials. We also maintain extensive electronic materials here at the center. I'm going to switch over now to the website just so you can get an orientation to that if you've not had a chance to look extensively at it. There's a lot of information here about CRL's collections and services, and you can see on the top navigation various tabs about CRL, CRL's membership, collections, services, and other activities. But what I want to point to right away is the CRL catalog, which is on the upper right side of your screen. If you click on catalog search options, you'll be taken to the CRL's online catalog. This is the best means of access to all of CRL's collections, and you can see on the top various tabs that might help you drill down to specific aspects of our collection, such as the newspapers collection. Here you can see a defined scope that would allow you to browse CRL's newspaper collection by country or by U.S. state. And if you just pull down the list, you can see the various options there, and that will present a list within our catalog. I also want to make mention of the digital tab in our catalog, which points to all of the electronic resources that CRL now has. Here you can have a simple or an advanced search, and we'll just type in a quick search to give you an example of this. Book of the Fair. And when you click on the search button, you'll be taken to the results. Here you can see an example of one of our digital versions of publications, the official guidebook of New York's World Fair from 1939. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can see a box that says Available Online, and when you click on that, you'll be taken immediately to the electronic resource. There's a growing collection of electronic materials at CRL at your disposal, and all of these records can be loaded into your catalog locally or be made available through OCLC's WorldCat. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about some of CRL's collections in a brief overview to provide you a sense of the availability of the types of materials here at CRL. First, I'd like to make mention of the newspaper collection, which is one of the largest and most used collections at CRL. Within CRL's collection, we have more than 14,000 titles of newspapers produced all around the world. This includes all formats, including print, microform, and digital. Approximately 25% of the collection contains U.S. general circulation newspapers that cover all states, territories, from the colonial times to the present. We also have more than 1,000 titles categorized as ethnic titles from the mid-1800s to the present. This includes publications of ethnic communities such as Jewish American, German American, Italian American, etc. The remainder of the collection is comprised largely of the international collections. We have newspapers from over 150 countries, covering from the 1700s to the present, although the bulk of the collection is from the 20th century. We maintain historical collections in print and microform, and also current subscriptions to U.S. and foreign titles. We also engage in original microfilming of material that may not be picked up by other libraries or by commercial filmers. We also provide access to digital newspapers through digitization in-house, as well as strategic digitization with partners, which I'll talk about in a minute. We also engage increasingly in electronic licensing of news resources on behalf of our members. The second category within our collection is the journal collection. CRL has more than 62,000 catalog titles of journals and maintains approximately 6,000 current subscriptions to periodicals. Our collection scope is designed to complement members' collections, so we do not subscribe to what one might consider core titles. We build our collection to complement various collections, so we include materials such as foreign science journals and materials from the LC cooperative acquisition programs in New Delhi and in Jakarta. This way, we can provide access to materials that you may not subscribe to locally. The bulk of the journal collection is in hard copy, although we also have materials in microform as well as digital, and we engage in article delivery as well as loans of full sets of journals. You can gain access to materials digitally through CRL's digitization program, as well as through our content partnerships like the Linda Hall Library, which we'll talk about in a moment. Next, I'd like to talk about the Dissertation Collection. This is a large and one of the largest collections of foreign doctoral dissertations anywhere in the world. CRL has more than 800,000 foreign doctoral dissertations published outside of the United States and Canada. This covers all dates, all subjects, and all languages. The collection comprises dissertations from the 1800s to the present, although 90% of the collection is from the 20th century. The strengths of the dissertation collection include content primarily from Europe, in particular Germany, France, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and the Scandinavian countries. There's also a representative collection of material from other parts of the world, such as Latin America, Africa, and so on. This collection is now completely cataloged and is circulating in great numbers, and I think that everyone would find something of interest, which might include the doctoral dissertation you see on the screen from Albert Einstein. I'd also like to make mention of CRL's Government Documents and Archives collection. We have a large collection of U.S. and foreign government archival sets from organizations such as the National Archives of the United States, as well as the former Public Records Office, now the UK National Archives. This material is primarily in microform, and we continue to acquire this material through purchase proposal and demand purchase programs, which you'll hear about later. We also have a large collection of U.S. state agency documents, which are serial publications created by the various agencies from every state up through about 1950. We also have a large foreign government document collection, which includes important serial publications from countries all over the world. I want to make special note of our Foreign Official Gazette collection, which you can see a sample here of La Gazzetta. This is a comprehensive collection of official publications promoting legal news and other information from the various countries. This is a collection of growing interest and is possibly going to be folded into the digitization through our legal our law and government partnership with the Law Library Microform Consortium. Government Documents and Archives was the subject of CRL's recent annual collections forum on the changing paradigm of collecting government documents and information in the digital era. There's more information about this forum on CRL's website. Finally, I want to just make note of all of the other primary source materials that we have at CRL, including the materials that we collect through the area microform projects. We also have developed a number of collection partnerships with partner institutions such as the one you see on screen here, the Linda Hall Library of Science, Engineering, and Technology. These partnerships are increasingly a way for us to expand access to collections on behalf of CRL members in a way that complements CRL's mission and centralized collection. In this particular case, CRL formed a partnership with the Linda Hall Library to facilitate access to more than 50,000 current and historical journal titles in the sciences. This includes print serials from Elsevier, Wiley, Springer, and other publishers, and includes materials from all over the world. The access to the Linda Hall collection is facilitated by CRL through document delivery through the Rapid ILL system. We've also offered strategic digitization of monographs from the Linda Hall collection up through about 1950. There's a strong print preservation component to this partnership in which all of the print serials accessible to CRL members will be maintained as a print preservation component through the partnership. And also, we are seeking to grow the joint collection of CRL and Linda Hall by developing collection policy statements guided by a steering committee and a senior advisor for science, technology, and engineering. Another collection partnership that's of note is our partnership in law and government with the Law Library Microform Consortium. This provides access for all CRL member libraries to more than 48 million pages of digitized legal and government texts available through LLMC Digital, the digital platform of the Law Library Microform Consortium. CRL's partnership with LLMC it focuses on targeted digitization of collections of interest from both CRL's collection as well as member libraries. We have made materials such as Cuban historical legal documents available and legislative reports from Mexico from 1687 through 1902. All told, this partnership is slated to continue for the next several years, and as I mentioned, access is open to all CRL libraries to this collection. More information is available on our website. Finally, I wanted to note our collection partnership for news. As I mentioned, newspaper collections are increasingly being made available electronically, and CRL's partnership with Redex, a division of Newsbank, is our effort to convert the historical newspaper content from CRL and member libraries. So far, we have digitized extensive material from Latin America, Africa, and South Asia through this partnership. This is a community-sourced and community-controlled project in that CRL and its member libraries own the rights to all of the content and the selection therein, and licenses that content to Redex to market outside of CRL's membership. All CRL members are eligible to acquire access to these collections through favorable member pricing that is controlled by CRL. All of this material, this partnership is continuing. And in August of last year, we announced a major partnership with the British Library to convert up to 7 million pages of content from the British Library collections from other world areas. Just to wrap this up, I wanted to encourage you to continue to look at CRL's website for more information about the collections. All of CRL's records are in the online catalog and are also available in WorldCat, as well as the major web-scale discovery services, such as Summon and Primo. Our records are also available for local loading, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Just to wrap up, I'm going to take you back to our website, where you can find more information about our collections. If you go to the top tab under Collections, you'll see information related to CRL's topic guides. This is a great way to hone in on particular aspects of CRL's collections, such as African studies, medieval studies, religion and philosophy, or in this case, we'll just click on Government Publications and Information. CRL's topic guides are an ongoing and growing endeavor in which we seek to provide not just information about the collections, but about current collecting challenges, as you can see in this essay. If you also go up and just click on the middle tab where it says CRL Collections, you can see some of the major strengths of CRL's collections related to government information. Organized by theme or by format, you can quickly gain access to these materials within CRL's catalog. Next, I'll turn this over to Kevin Wilkes to talk a little bit more about how to gain access to CRL's collection.
Hi, I'm Kevin Wilkes, and I am the head of Access Services, and I'm going to talk with you about how to borrow our material, how we deliver it, one of our best programs, I think, here at the center, which is our demand purchase program, and how to access our digital collection, and how you can load our records into your catalog. You may send this request through OCLC or Iliad in our symbol is CRL. We ask you to enter us in first the lender string and put us in 2 times so that we can make certain that the material is sent to you and that the request is processed quickly. Or you can send us a request through fax at 773-955-9732. Or if you want a hard copy form such as the ALA IRL form, you can send that to us through mail, or you can send us a request through our general email account at asd@crl.edu. Now, many of our members are involved with consortiums that facilitate resource sharing. We have joined many of these consortiums, such as Linda Hall Library, Rapid, Prospector for our Colorado members, Ohio Link, Connect New York, UBorrow, and Borrow Direct. We're always willing to explore the possibility of joining other consortiums which will benefit our members' use of the center in its material. We have a very generous loan period for our members. It's 6 months with unlimited renewals. Now, the only time you probably hear from us is when we are recalling the material for another member institution. All of our loans are shipped UPS, second-day delivery. For our members in Ohio, we use the Ohio Link Courier system, and for Illinois, we use Carly system. It's our desire to assist our members in any way we possibly can. For copies, we use Odyssey, Arial, fax. We'll send an email PDF attachment if you like, or through just regular U.S. mail. We're able to turn around and or respond to most of our requests within 24 hours. Possible delays could be such things as a citation problem or just that the material is not on the shelf at the moment. But however, 90% of our field loans and articles have a 1 business day turnaround time. Now, our demand purchase program is a program that I think is the most valuable of being a member here at the center. This is a program which not only saves you time, but money as well by letting us purchase requested material for your patrons' use. It covers 3 areas: archival material, newspapers, and foreign doctoral dissertations. The demand purchase process is initiated by you sending us an IRL request, and to help the request move a little bit faster, if you will put in the borrowing notes, please purchase, we can start the process immediately. There is a $2,000 limit per patron. Now, don't get scared. What that means is that each patron within your institution is allowed $2,000 each year for purchasing. Now, for more costly material or material that does not fit into any of these 3 categories, you may want to utilize one of our other purchase programs like the Purchase Proposal Program or the Share Purchase Program. Virginia will be speaking more about that later on. Now for archival material, this is material such as the U.S. National Archives and Great Britain National Archive material, but it no longer is limited to just archives of the national government. We have also expanded this program to include the archives of semi-government organizations, NGOs, and institutions. For newspapers, these are foreign and domestic newspapers of which we already own one date. So what does that mean? If there is a newspaper and your patron is looking for 1965, but the only thing we own is July 1st, 1961, we will do our best to try to purchase 1965 for your patron. For foreign doctoral dissertations, these are dissertations outside of the U.S. and Canada. And once again, to help expedite the request, if you will put on in the borrowing notes, if not owned, please purchase, we can start immediately. Some institutions are requiring a signed copyright declaration form. More and more institutions each day, they're requesting their own specific forms, such as Cambridge and Hong Kong, Manchester, and Oxford. Now, if you do not have one of these forms, we ask you to just contact us, and we'll be more than happy to send you one. Many of the British Library dissertations are now accessible through their Ethos program. If there is a cost for the initial scanning of a British dissertation through Ethos, we ask you to send us the request. We will pay for the initial scanning, and then once it's done, we will inform you when the scans are available. And again, it's all for free. CRL has contributed to the scanning of dissertations provided by Ethos, and I strongly suggest that you take full advantage of the demand purchase program.
For our digital services, we are filling more and more of our requests digitally. Our goal is to provide research and teaching material in a digital format, making the access of the material more efficient and expedient. Each year we have committed to digitizing over 700,000 pages. We are now digitizing close to 1 million pages each year. Each year we pledge to raise the bar even more. There are two ways for which you go about selecting material for digitization. One is digital delivery, which is generated through an IRL request. The other is strategic or planned scanning. Now, the majority of our digital selection stems from IRL requests. The remaining portion comes from planned scanning. Our e-resource collection includes everything from dissertations to colonial government reports. Our current turnaround time for digital delivery is 5 business days. We are willing to work with faculty members who desire to have material digitized for class use. We will scan not only hard copy, but also micro format as well, and this even includes micro cards.
Review to see if it meets the criteria for digitization, and we check the material's fragility and content. It's then reviewed to see if it decided that the material is eligible for check the material's fragility and content. The requesting library is informed that once it has been decided that the material is eligible for digitizing, the material is then given a file name that we will delivery date to fill the request digitally. It is then sent for scanning, and the material is then OCR is saved as a PDF file on our server. It is then sent for scanning, also placed on our OPAC for OCR is saved as a PDF file on our server. Is then informed by email with the URL for any future update the WorldCat record. The requesting library is then informed by email with the URL. We update the WorldCat record, keeping our holdings current.
With our strategic digitization or plan scanning, as we call it, we attempt to identify material which supports undergraduate instruction and specific research projects. We have identified such titles as the Drum, Civilian Conservation Core Papers, and microfilm guides and finding aids.
Our e-resource collection can be accessed many ways from our website. You may access it from our digital collection page on our website, or by clicking on the digital version tab on our catalog. There are 3 categories allowing access to our digital collection. Material not under copyright falls under open access, allowing the general public viewing privileges, and material in the gray area is only accessible to our members. Material under copyright protection is only accessible by our members and only for a limited time. When the material is under copyright, the patron is taken to this screen. Once the server has verified the IP address as a valid member institution, and the patron has agreed to the copyright agreement, the scans will appear. If the patron is off campus, they must have proxy through their institution. Now I'm going to speak with you quickly about record loading. This is another totally free program for our members. It enhances the visibility of your partnership with CRL, and you will have more of your patrons requesting CRL material and providing you more use of your CRL membership. It also increases the accuracy of requests, and you can see that especially with patron-initiated requesting. We have had universities such as Harvard and the University of Florida to show improvement on their fill rate, as well as consortiums such as OhioLink, Prospector, and Rapid. We have over 1.3 million records in our catalog, and you don't have to download all of our records. You may only want to download portion of our catalog, such as just our newspapers or our dissertations or just our digital collection. Once again, this is a free program for our members. Now, if you have a patron who is visiting Chicago and would like to come and use the material here at our reading room, we ask you to give us a call at least 3 business days in advance, because we want to make certain that the material is here, since our material does circulate to our member institutions. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 2. It is by appointment only, but if a patron comes, we will do our best to accommodate them.
If you have any problems, questions, or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me or my assistant, Michelle Copper. And I'm now turning it over to Regina Kerr, who is taking in for Mary Wilkie.
Hi, I'm filling in for Mary Wilkie today, who is our Member Liaison and Outreach Services Director. I'm going to be covering 3 topics: e-resources licensing, cooperative collection development, and reference consultations. Responding to member interests, over the past few years, CRL has become increasingly active in negotiating offers for electronic licensing at member institutions. This is one strategy in support of a key goal: to increase researchers' access to primary source collections in electronic form at CRL libraries. In order to build on our strengths and avoid duplication of effort with other consortia, CRL licensing efforts concentrate on areas of particular strength in our own collections, such as newspapers, historical archives, demographic data, and other international content not easily available through mainstream channels, while also taking into consideration member suggestions. We can leverage market share to obtain favorable terms. We also leverage the expertise of the CRL community to share critical analyses in the trial assessment phase of considering resources for licensing. Since 2010, CRL has posted offers for over 40 databases. 124 different member institutions have participated in 440 purchases or subscription transactions. Savings have ranged from 10% to 55%. We try to avoid resources typically offered by other major consortia, but we've also coordinated efforts on certain major titles, such as Gale's 19th Century Collections Online, or NECO, where we negotiated an offer which was extended to all consortia where CRL libraries have membership. Through licensing negotiations and critical reviews, CRL has been able to influence the platform functionality of several new databases, such as the Stalin Digital Archive, and to advocate for best practices in license terms, such as interlibrary loan provisions. Last fall, CRL launched the e-Desiderata platform, which organizes information on e-resources under consideration in CRL's licensing pipeline. E-Desiderata provides centralized access to information on the status of negotiations, offer details, CRL reviews, and comments from the community. Response has been very positive. Here's a snapshot of the e-Desiderata dashboard page from a few weeks ago. At that time indicating there were 16 resources in the pipeline, 32 active offers, and 80 CRL reviews, which represent reviews of current offers and previously offered items, which we retain and we continue to add comments to the reviews. A brief overview description of each resource is posted initially in e-Desiderata, sometimes at the pre-release stage. Reviews are posted as we gain more information. We contact publishers to ascertain details about the extent of content and platform features often not explicitly described in promotional materials. Librarians at CRL member institutions can log in to recommend items for consideration, see offer details, and comment on the content or licensing terms of items under offer. An important new customizing feature is e-Desiderata. Yes, you heard correctly, it's called e-Desiderata, which is an individualized tool within e-Desiderata where you can select individual resources of interest and receive updates on changes in the offer, on additional comments added to the review. Other ways we get the word out about new or expiring e-resource licensing opportunities include posts in Connect, CRL's e-newsletter, and announcements emailed to collections managers and e-resources librarians. Note that we will hold a webinar in August specifically dedicated to describing in more detail CRL's plans for licensing activities, as well as the various cooperative collection development programs. CRL offers several programs designed to aid member libraries connect scholars to the resources they need. You can find descriptions in the collections section of CRL's website under the heading Cooperative Collection Development. Kevin has already described the Demand Purchase Program, which comes as an outgrowth or response to loan requests. I'm going to talk about Purchase Proposal and Shared Purchase. Through the Purchase Proposal Program, CRL provides access to important research collections which may be too costly or esoteric for individual libraries to acquire. This program relies on our members, who nominate materials of importance to their constituents and then vote on the nominated titles in an annual ballot. CRL buys down the list ranked by balloting. Two recently acquired items are featured here. The Central American Archives, a very expensive and significant collection of early documents, which is being purchased over a 3-year period, and the Maritime Customs Service Archive from China. Items not receiving enough votes on the purchase proposal ballot, or new items which the nominating library wants to access before the following year's voting, can be proposed for shared purchase. This operates like a voluntary buying club. The nominating library kicks in some money, CRL kicks in some money, and then other members can pledge funds as according to their own interests. Ultimately, the items purchased are available for loan to all members, but the nominating library gets first dibs on borrowing. In her position as Member Liaison and Outreach Services Director, Mary Wilkie assists members of the CRL community to more fully understand the depth of collections and utilize the programs and services which CRL offers. When Mary is contacted by a librarian, professor, or student with a question about CRL collections and holdings, she often identifies additional material of interest. She might point to uncatalogued groups of government documents or help decipher complicated holdings in microform sets. She can also help compile suggestions for classroom use of primary source materials, such as English language foreign news sources. Reference consultations with scholars may identify materials complementary to CRL's existing collections, which could be acquired through the demand purchase program to meet their research needs. At this point, I am going to turn the presentation over to Gwen Inat, our communications specialist.
Thanks, Virginia. Hi, everyone. I am going to be talking about some of the membership services available to you, and basically we have a whole page on our website under our membership section called Make the Most of Your Membership, which is what we really want you to do. I know we have some new members attending today. Whether you're a long-term member, there's always a way to refresh your connection and help your patrons, researchers, faculty become more familiar with CRL resources. One of the easiest ways to keep in touch with what we're doing is, Virginia just mentioned CRL Connect. If you go to the CRL Connect page, it's just on our website, /Connect. It is a e-newsletter that comes out every few weeks or so. It has information on webinars like this one, other upcoming events, activities, acquisitions, awards programs. It's a really easy way to stay in touch with CRL. Also, back on that Make Your Membership page, Virginia also mentioned the collection development programs, and if we keep going down, Kevin mentioned record keeping, which is great. Wait, too fast. There we go. Our CRL webinars is awesome. Sorry, and a little further down, the section that says promote awareness of CRL's resources on campus. Here we have some links to some universities that have found a way to highlight CRL collections and availabilities on their own website. So if you want to take a look at those, that would probably be really helpful. And then, Prasad, if we go to the menu, there's also a page called Marketing Tools over on the left there. Thanks. We have a beautiful collections brochure. It was recently updated, I think just last year, that has, again, more easily detailed information about our collections and things that are available. We also have a one-page flyer that we can customize just for your institution. There's that PDF link there. So if you're interested in any of those materials, they are free to you as CRL members, and feel free to follow up with any member of our staff. If we go back to that membership page, I think that is most of the highlights. I'm sorry, let's stay on this page, Prasad, and keep going down. Right. Okay, there's also publicity consultation. Sorry guys, we just updated these pages, so we're a little unfamiliar with them as you are. Publicity consultation can help you figure out the best way to promote these resources to your staff. We can also talk to you about how to get, like those websites that we mentioned, those kind of resources on your website. So again, feel free to follow up with our staff to make the most of those kind of resources. And if we go back to the Make Your Membership page, we also have information on the Make the Most of Your Membership page. We also have visits available. We are on the south end of the Hyde Park campus at near University of Chicago, and sometimes our newer members come by for a tour. You can see our collections, meet our staff. We are always happy to hear from you. If we go back to the slides, I also just want to touch base really quickly before we turn over to Q&A, and I really hope that you guys will have questions for our staff. We're here. It's a great opportunity to take advantage and find out more about CRL. Our Primary Source Awards is an annual program that we just opened nominations for this year for the 2015. The nominations are due at the end of January. If you go to our webpage now, don't have to go to it right now, but if you just go to our general webpage, you'll see that graphic. If you want to see the awardees from this year, they're in 3 categories: access, research, and teaching. And they're open, again, if you're from a CRL institution. It's a great opportunity to find out about more research projects. We're really interested in finding how primary source materials are being used. And we're always looking for more entries into this awards program, so please feel free. And again, any information, contact our staff. There's going to be a staff information slide coming up shortly. Thanks, everyone. I will talk to you again in a few minutes.
Thanks, Gwen. And thanks everybody for what I hope was some useful information for you about CRL's collections and programs. I just wanted to touch a little bit on where we're going to give you a sense of the bigger picture. As you've heard, we're solidly grounded in collections-based activity. We are at your beck and call when it comes down to what you want to see CRL doing in the future. So we host these kinds of events. We host our annual meeting for people to provide us feedback and give us a sense of changes and things that you might be interested in. And the strategic objectives that have been developed for the next fiscal year, which is coming up, really do help us continue along the thread that perhaps you got a sense of here, is strengthening the key partnerships that we have with organizations such as the Linda Hall Library, the Law Library Microfilms Consortium, and other partnerships such as our agricultural partnership with the U.S. Agricultural Information Network. Using these partnerships to increase the benefits and increase access to materials on behalf of, or for CRL member libraries. We also do want to aggressively expand member library access to primary source collections and data, particularly in the social sciences and humanities, where we can focus on news, legal and government information, the history of agriculture, science, technology, and engineering, as well as increasing the digitization and discoverability of CRL holdings. Finally, we want to make sure that we expand and enhance CRL's online resources for collection managers and decision makers at your institutions by further populating and integrating tools such as the online Print Archives Preservation Registry, which is a tool that's openly accessible for member libraries to make decisions on print archiving, and the International Coalition on Newspapers global newspaper database, as well as through eDesiderata, which you saw a little bit earlier. Hopefully these tools will help you make informed decisions for purchase or collection building at your own institutions. So these are some of the key strategic objectives of CRL in the coming years, I should say, all of which focus in on sort of the mission restated here, focus in on ensuring the long-term integrity and accessibility of critical evidence for research. We do have just a few minutes, I think, for questions and answers, and we'd be happy to address some of those as we've gotten. We've gotten a few that have come in through the chat, and we'd be happy to take a look at some of those now. We did have a lot of interest in the Linda Hall Library partnership, and in particular, the relationship with Rapid ILL. Kevin, would you want to spend another minute or two just talking about that?
For all of our members, Rapid has created a special pod just so that our members can request material through Rapid ILL. If you are not already a subscriber to Rapid ILL, you are still able to be a part of this special pod in Rapid, and it is for free. You can contact Jane Smith at Rapid ILL or contact me, and I will make sure that Jane gets to you and train you on the special way of requesting material through Rapid ILL for Linda Hall Library.
Great, thanks. There's another question for you, Kevin, actually, I believe. This relates to the demand purchase program, focusing in on the dissertations that we collect on demand. As Kevin mentioned, if we don't have a dissertation, we will attempt to acquire it for you if you request that. The question from one of our members was, how long does it normally take to purchase and make available dissertations from abroad?
That's a hard question to answer, especially difficult due to the fact that it's always a different time for everyone. Now, for some of our British dissertations, we are usually able to receive those dissertations between 6 weeks to 8 weeks. For dissertations such as our dissertations from France, unfortunately, those are the dissertations. France is one of the hardest places to get a dissertation from, believe it or not. And that usually can take anywhere from a year to never. So that's my best answer I can give you. Sorry.
I love the depends answers. We did have a question about the record loading, or perhaps the records within major discovery systems. The question was, to make those records available, what do you need to do? And if possible, is it possible to distinguish between, say, CRL's online resources versus the physical items here for loan? I think the intent of the question was, if we only wanted to make the online resources available in the default search, how can we do that? We were looking to get a very specific answer to that, and I'm not entirely sure that we can answer whether you can isolate just the electronic records through one of these major discovery services. We'll be happy to follow up with you on that. But the general procedure for making the CRL material available, it's really up to your local configuration, and you need to turn CRL on within these systems as a resource. As you are able to select particular resources to light up within these systems, you do need to turn CRL on in order for the CRL records to be present in a discovery system. We'd be happy to put you in touch with Amy Wood here at CRL. Her email is awood, A-W-O-O-D, at crl.edu, for a more informed answer as to whether or not you can select subsets of the records there. We did have a question come in that was about e-desiderata, and the questioner was interested in a bit more detail about how to track the progress of open offers within e-desiderata. That is, not just the availability of the resource, but perhaps any changes that are coming along, notifications of changes in the terms. And I'd like to just go briefly to e-desiderata and highlight what Virginia mentioned in her presentation, the me-desiderata part of this. If you see on the upper right-hand side of your screen, me-desiderata, you can learn a little bit more about how to use this very cool aspect of e-desiderata. In short, when you're logged in, and all CRL members have the ability of logging in and seeing the members-only portion of this content, you can go in and you can identify and select particular types of resources that you may want to pay attention to. You are able to watch just one resource, or all active offers, or any sort of new offers that come into the pipeline. You can select particular filters to set up what we call a watch list to receive updates. Anytime there's a significant update or a change in the status of the offer, you'll receive a daily or perhaps a weekly notification of that. This doesn't really ding your inbox too many times, but when a resource is updated or an offer is changed to a past offer or a new offer is coming in, you can set up alerts in this. It's a great function of e-desiderata. And you can see on the right-hand side of your screen a me-desiderata in 3 minutes. This is a nicely done 3-minute video that can show you how to set this up for any particular type of list that you want to watch. We encourage everybody to use this, especially those who are paying attention to electronic resource offers. And if you have suggestions of ways that we can improve this, we'd love to hear about that. In addition, if you're interested in particular electronic resources that you'd be interested in having CRL examine or perhaps even consider for a group offer, please do contact us. There's an ability to do that through the forum, and you'll be able to see that when you're on the main page. And we're just going to take a look and see if there's any further questions. It doesn't look like we have too many more coming in. So I think we're just going to wrap this up perhaps a minute early. We've put up on the screen the contact information for all of the presenters and Mary Wilkie, our member liaison. So you can get in touch with us at any time. We do welcome your comments and your questions and your feedback, perhaps how you are making use of CRL or whether you have a faculty member who's making use of a particular resource. We're always very interested in hearing the stories about successful uses of CRL and feedback from scholars and librarians alike. We're just going to wrap up here. Gwen is going to finish this up.
everyone. Thanks again for joining us this afternoon. If we were not able to get to a specific question of yours, that contact list that was up, please feel free to contact any of our staff. I'm also going to be sending out a follow-up email this afternoon that will also have this information on it, so you'll know which staff to follow up with. So please feel free to do that. As far as upcoming events, we have a few coming up. Somebody just asked about ALA. Yes, some of our staff will be at ALA. We actually have a news item on our website right now. It says something like, find CRL staff at ALA. So if you want to know, Kevin's going to be there and a few other members of our staff. So check that out on our website, crl.edu. Our next webinar will be in August, licensing and acquisitions. It's mainly the part that Virginia was talking about with e-Desiderata and the collection development programs. If you want more information about those programs, that will be a great event for you to attend, and that event note is also on our website, so you can go ahead and register for that whenever you like. We've also already scheduled our main event of the year for next year. Our annual meeting will be a webinar this year. This year we had it in person, but this time it will be just online, so every CRL member can attend April 24th, 2015 for the collections form for that. When you log out of this webinar, a follow-up survey is going to pop up, and it really means a lot to us if you could just take a moment to fill it out. We especially really value commentary, so if you just jot down a few sentences, that'll really help us refine. This is a webinar that we do a couple of times a year, and we really want to gear it toward what our members' needs are. So please feel free to comment there. And if you want to view this presentation again or share it with colleagues, it will soon be available on our YouTube channel, along with many other presentations and webinars, so feel free to check that out. We do keep talking about our website, we keep mentioning Connect, those are the links for that. You can also find us on Facebook, and please follow us on Twitter. Thank you again for joining us today, and have a wonderful afternoon.